Hello, America, and welcome to Teach the People. I am your host, Arisha McFarland. This week, I sit down with television personality, author, mother, woman of faith, and ex-wife, though not for long, star of the Real Housewives of Potomac, Gizelle Bryant. Pull out your pen and paper and get ready to look, listen, and learn as Gizelle and I talk about everything from faith to family to the art of forgiveness. Welcome to Teach the People. Hey, Gizelle.
Hi.
Welcome to Teach the People. How are you?
I am very good. Happy to be here with you tonight.
You looking good. Thank you for joining us on Teach the People. You look like you're holding up really well these days.
I feel very underdressed. You look very beautiful. I'm here with a baseball hat on, t-shirt.
That's what good looking will do for you. See, when you got the good looks, you don't have to do all this. That's that natural beauty, just sitting right up on you.
Thank you.
Listen, so what is your beauty regimen? Did you do this yourself or you just woke up like this?
Well, I just woke up like this. However, this is all me. I don't think I have a regimen. I just try to get a lot of sleep at night.
But you're in the world of beauty too, so you kind of know what you're doing when you get into
Yes.
the box, right?
Yes. I'm a girly girl. I've been playing in makeup my entire life. Yes.
I love that you own that. I love it. I love that we get to see you and welcome back to another season of Real Housewives of Potomac. I've seen the first couple episodes and looks like we're in for a treat this season. You excited about it?
It's a great season. I think you get to see a whole lot more of the ladies. I think there's going to be a couple of episodes that you will be very proud of. You know, we do a lot of talk about Black girl magic, what it means to be a Black woman, how important that is, especially now more than ever. And, we filmed it about a year ago at this point because we were pushed back just due to the pandemic. And the conversations that we were having are so much more important now with all that has happened with, social justice, Black Lives Matter. So it's a great season.
That's exciting. And I'm glad to hear that you all did. One of the things I like about y'all's show is that you do touch on real issues. You touch on real things that go on with real women in our communities. And one of the things, and let's just jump on into it, because one of the things that I was very excited about when you all first came on, when I first saw the Real Housewives of Potomac, was that we had women that looked different. They had the array. We were finally, I was able to look and see a woman that looked like me and she was proud of it and she wasn't, she didn't hold back. And, you got the eyes. Mine aren't quite like yours, but I got the eyes. When folks walk up and ask us, are those yours? Right? Do you get that a lot?
Yeah, all the time.
If you wear contacts?
Yeah. Or where did you get them from? Like, what are you? You can't be Black.
Mm-hmm. Now, I don't always get that you can't be Black, but I can see how you get that. And I read once that you said that your daughters mistakenly thought for a while that you were white.
When I was when they were little and they didn't understand race, they were very young, like kindergarten, first grade, second grade, and they were telling their friends that their mom is white because their friends would see me and they'd be like, yeah, my mommy's white. And I was like, so finally they told me. And I was like, what? Like, no. And then I had to explain to them about race and connect it to skin color, which is very strange. So I had to do all that for them at a very young age. And they understand now, they clear.
They get it now. Let's take it back to the very beginning because both of your parents are Black, right?
Yes, of course.
So let's start at the very beginning because today I want to talk to you. I want to talk about a couple of things. I want to talk about faith. I want to talk about family, and I want to get to talking about forgiveness because you know a lot about that. So when we talk about the very beginning, so you were raised in the DC area, yes? And you and I went to, where did you go to college, Gizelle?
Hampton University, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much, our alma mater. HU puts out some beautiful women, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. So now your daughters, so your ex-husband Jamal went to Morehouse and you went to Hampton. Are you going to encourage your daughters to go to an HBCU?
Yes, I don't want to, we're talking about teenage girls now, so I don't want to push it too hard because then they'll, rebel and do something else.
Yeah.
But I have taken them to Hampton.
Oh, yeah.
I have a brick they have a Greek kind of circle, and I have a in the ground, so I had to show them my brick and make them cry.
Girl, I know all about Hampton U. Let me tell you.
Yeah. And I had to, so that got them excited. They were like, okay. But again, it's their decision. But I mean, I would be so super happy if they went to Hampton, for sure.
Now, when they're in Atlanta, has Jamal taken them by Spelman yet?
Of course, he's trying to sway them over to Spelman. And I get it, and that's fine too. But I just want them to be happy and proud. When they graduate from college, I want them to be happy and proud of their experience and know that it is an experience. Like, it is a life-changing moment in your life in which you can't get it back. But there's a whole lot for you to do as far as growing up is concerned and knowing who you are, like being clear, like you are a proud Black woman. Now, go change the world.
That's right. And you can do that at Hampton University. You tell them that. Yes. Hampton prepares you for that. One of the things I always say is that college is a social education as well as an academic one. And so when you do need to go and figure out who you are, especially if you've grown up in a world where people didn't always look like you, and you might have also been the only in the room sometimes, it's really good to get around other strong, positive Black images. And you find that at Hampton University.
Yes. Amen.
There's our PSA for Hampton. So Gizelle, were you raised in the church?
Yes. I was born and raised Catholic. And it wasn't until I met Jamal that I stepped foot into a Black church. So that's a whole nother experience than the Catholic church. Same God, but just a different experience. I mean, the Black church is, I don't know if it's a experience, let alone a rite of passage.
I like to say it's an expression, right? Yes. It is an expression of your faith. So how did you meet Jamal?
So I was working at the NAACP, the national headquarters in Baltimore, out of college, and I was handling their events. They used to have very large conventions every year. And I was kind of like the liaison between the corporations and the association. And then he came all out of Duke, because he went from Howard to Duke. He got his master's in divinity at Duke. So he came all fresh from Duke University. He was the National Youth and College Director. And he walked up in there thinking he was like taking over the world. And then he laid his eyes on something called Gizelle. And it was all.
So now that's very interesting, because I don't think a lot of people know how civically minded you are and the work in social justice that you've done. Did it begin at the NAACP when you left Hampton, or is this kind of work that you've been interested in prior to even then?
Prior to then, my dad always just, from the things that he used to do, he was involved in politics back when he lived in Houston, I don't know, in the 60s. And he was always instilling in us, just kind of me, my brother and my sister, just kind of the importance of helping others and doing what you can to make sure that you're always giving back, teaching others, helping others, and just really the plight of the Black man in this country. I mean, we've come a long way. We have so far to go, but unless we stand up and stand out and really exercise our voice, nothing's going to change. So my father always instilled that in me, but I never listened to him because I'm like the worst child ever. Like, I was like, whatever, Dad, I don't got time. But when it was for me to choose what I was going to do, I chose the NAACP. So I guess I was listening a little bit.
And your father was an elected official, was he not?
Yes, he was elected to the Texas State Legislature. He was like the first Black since Reconstruction. And then he ran for mayor of Houston. That was like, I think 1960 something, knowing he was pretty much going to lose. But of course, he ran. And that experience was like, I think, tremendously huge for him. And I guess the whole family, because, every day somebody's trying to kill him. Every day he's getting death threats. So, it's just a different time. But then we look back and we're like, times really haven't changed. So, I don't know. I'm just very proud of my dad and all the work that he's done. And, currently I'm just like, I got to do whatever I can to just make sure that for my kids, it's a better situation.
And are you an only child?
No. So I'm the youngest. I have we're like 3 years, me and my oldest sister are 3 she's 3 years older than me. And then I have a brother who's in the middle. So he's like a year and a half older than me. And no one knows that they exist because like they refuse to be on the show. They're like, Gizelle, that's your thing. That's not our thing. And, you know, they just want no parts. And I totally respect it.
I would have never guessed that you were the baby of the family.
Oh yeah, I'm like the biggest spoiled brat, but because I'm the baby, I always had to know my stuff because, you know, if I had to debate my brother and my sister's extremely smart. She's a lawyer. So I had to like know my stuff. And I was always going to get my way, but I had to fight for it. I had to debate for it. And, you know, I had my brother and my sister's back. So that always gave me a little bit more battery in me to just be kind of like the Spitfire that I am, because I knew I had their back. I mean, I knew that they had my back.
Yeah, it's your back. They say that women with brothers just have strong personalities. Like having a brother really just builds you.
Yep. Yeah. And I knew no matter what I did in these streets, my brother was going to take care of it if anything went down sideways. He had my back.
Just like, what was you going to do in the streets, though? That's the problem.
I don't know. It's not the point. It's not the point. Okay.
I'm all off topic now. So that's very interesting. So when you, so I know you were a model before, but was that your career set prior to coming to Real Housewives?
Oh God, no. I did that kind of like, because everybody had told me I need to model. Oh my gosh, you need to model. Why aren't you modeling? I kind of got into it that way just because I was just like tired of people like saying it. But I kind of want to say there was no real fulfillment there. But it was fine in the moment. Like I was very young. I was probably young 20s.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what were you doing before you came to Real Housewives?
Oh gosh. I had a bakery business that I was doing called Sweet Gizelle. Probably didn't know about that. Now, did you?
Are you like a baker, a chef? Are you a baker?
I love to bake. Yeah, it's my thing. So I was baking for a restaurant and loved it. I mean, it's very time consuming and it's labor intensive. You need a lot of people to help you. But I loved it. I totally loved it. And then my phone rang about the show and I was like, all right, I'm down. And here we are.
So is there a cooking show in the future? Is there Sweet Gizelle's coming to TV?
I would like that, to be honest with you. I would like actually to be, I mean, if you saw my Saturdays, like, especially with the pandemic, everybody just being home, I watch cooking shows like all day long. And if there's like a baking show, like I'm all over it. So I would love to be a judge on Yes, that means I can taste all the stuff.
Gizelle, how do you so on the show you talk about eating a lot, and how do you keep your figure if you're baking on the weekends and eating on the show? Like, I have to detox for 21 days and I still don't look like that. So what's the magic pill we're taking?
Okay, so I do work out 5 days a week. 5 out of 7 days a week, I'm at the gym, I'm working out. During the pandemic, I was walking and riding my bike, walking with the girls. And now that I can go back to the gym, I go to the gym and do the walks with my kids. So I'm very active.
Yes, so I'm not going to do any of that. 5 days a week at the gym is why I don't look like you is because I won't spend 5 days at the gym. So
it's not for everybody.
That's beast mode right there. Like you can't do anything else if you're going to the gym 5 to 7 days a week.
But that is how I get my sanity. That is how I deal with the show and deal with just life. Like it's just a mental outlet for me.
So what is life like these days in the midst of this pandemic? Are you all still staying close to home, or do you feel like you're venturing out now?
We're venturing out a little bit, but not really doing major traveling or anything like that. We have been to Atlanta a couple times, but not really. I mean, we're just home. And the sad part is next week, not this week, but the following week, my kids go back to school. The summer is over. So we might get away this week, a couple of days, but we won't go far.
So let's talk family.
Okay.
You and Jamal back together.
Yes.
How did that happen?
Girl, your guess is as good as mine. No, like so he and I have been divorced 12 years now.
I
12,
was
13.
surprised to learn that. I was surprised to learn. You said that 10 years, it had been 10 years by the time the show started?
Probably, yeah. I can't really keep track, but we've been divorced for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we get divorced. What happens?
So we, obviously go our separate ways. Um, and I think the beauty of the divorce was that it allowed both of us to, well, I'll say him, it allowed him to appreciate me in a different way and appreciate his children in a different way because he no longer lived with them. And I think it was necessary. I think it was necessary for me, just as a woman, to really fulfill some dreams that I needed to fulfill, just to feel complete as a woman. Mm-hmm. And so I've done that. I feel extremely successful with everything that I put my hands on and my head around to do. And, throughout the process of the 10 to 12 years, we have been great friends. Jamal and I have always had like a beautiful friendship.
Pause right there. Okay. So let's roll back because I need to know how that happens. How do you say we've always had a great friendship, yet we got divorced? Now, you and I have a similar story. I was married for 8 years. You crashed and burned in a very similar fashion, except that I didn't have children. So I see how children can keep you connected, but having gone through that experience, and let's just call it what it is, because you call it cheating is cheating. And then when there are remnants from that, that can be very, very painful.
Yeah.
How do you because I know for me, the time away, right, was one thing. So I see the separation, but how do you get back to a place where you can say we're friends, we remained friends?
I had to make a decision very early on. As soon as we got divorced, I had to make a decision. Well, my divorce lawyer told me, he was like, look, do you really want to get divorced? And I was like, yeah. And he said, okay, understand that this man's going to be in your life for a very long time because your children are so young. So you need to figure out for yourself how you can manage that. And I decided that I love my children more than I dislike him. So that meant that I had to put aside our stuff in order to allow him to still have a relationship with his children. I mean, you know how it is. You can be, you know how to push somebody's buttons. You know how to argue. You know how to go there if you want to, or you can let that go and just try to be a family. I didn't want to not have my children feel a sense of family because he and I couldn't get our stuff together and he and I didn't work. I always wanted my children to feel like they got a mom and they got a dad and their parents are a unit that loved them. So I just had to put on my big girl panties, to be quite honest.
Was he in opposition of the divorce though? Was he kind of like, let's not do it, try to hang on? Or did he let you go when you said you wanted to go?
No, I mean, he by no means wanted the divorce. He tells that to everybody, but it was the best. But he says now that it was the best thing that I did for him because, like I said, it forced him to grow up and it forced him to realize that what's important, like family is what's important. Like all this other nonsense that's going on, like that's not even real.
Do you think that that's what made it easier for you all to, not that it could not have been easy over this past 12 years, but easier because he was still emotionally tied to the relationship? Do you think that that was kind of a thread that helped you all to find your way back to each other?
Maybe. It's funny. I was watching, I think Evelyn Lozada, which is so weird that I remember this, and Shawnee. And they were being interviewed by somebody, I can't remember, and the person asked them, if you got locked up and had one phone call to get you out, who are you calling? And I'm like, Jamal. this was years ago when I saw this. And I'm like, I'm calling Jamal. Like I know I know he's going to get me out. I know he cares enough to want always what's best for me. So, that connection, I guess, was never severed because we'll just always be connected.
Yeah. So as you look toward this reconciliation, and obviously everybody got something to say. And I mean, so at some point, I was asking you about your faith earlier. At some point, you had to get to a place where you found true forgiveness in order to just even be able to look at him in a different way.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yes, but I had to learn that. And I had to realize that forgiveness is not for him, it's for me. Like, you gotta let whatever your issue is with another person go if you want to be a better person. It doesn't really have anything to do with him. But that came over time. That wasn't like I woke up one day and I was like, oh yeah, I forgive you. We good. No, that's a real grown up and mature thing to do, is to really forgive someone who has harmed you, who has betrayed you, who has treated you like you should not be treated. And that might have taken 12 years. Like, that took time. But everybody would always say, it's not about him, it's about you. And I didn't believe it. And I was just like, but I didn't hurt myself. He hurt me. I didn't do that. But then once I realized that if I forgave him, then I let it go, then he and I can, build our relationship. It put me in a better place. So, yeah, I mean, for people that are holding on to stuff, you just really, really got to let it go. And I can tell you this, I don't really talk about it that much, but we had a session with Alanya Van Zandt. Oh. And she talked because Jamal and his family are personal friends of hers. And so we trusted her obviously enough with our story and our journey. And she spoke highly to that. Like, she was like, Gizelle, like, your hang up is you. Like, you got to get to understanding how you feel, not what he did. So, yeah, after, I'm a quick study. Once you tell me once, I figure it out. Right. And get to another place.
That's great. Because I was going to ask you if you came to it on your own or did you all seek help? One thing that I remember when we were getting to the place of talking about divorces, there was a lot of anger on both sides, though we never stopped talking. There was just a lot of anger. And I remember someone saying, it's not one person that ruins a marriage, right? Like, it takes two. No, it's not. I did everything I was supposed to do. It wasn't me. It was him. And it wasn't until I was away from him that I could turn the mirror on myself and see the flaws in me, that while my sins were different from his sins, I had sins that I needed to hold myself accountable for. And I think that's kind of when the growth starts to happen. How would you say that the two of you, because I know you said that you believe the divorce has changed both of you for the better. How would you say that you have changed for the better, and how has he changed?
Okay, for me, I needed to, within the marriage, I was highly focused on him, his career, what makes him happy, me being the dutiful wife. And that was just where I was at that time in my life. I was having kids, like changing underwear. Like, I had 3 kids.
But you said you had 2 of them at one time. You can't call it. When you have 2 of that's a little cheating. You can't be like, I was just popping them out. I mean, do it.
Right.
If you're doing 2 a days, you can't.
No, I had 3 under 2. That's a lot. So I was focused on that and not on him at all. Once I started having kids. So I realized that I was not in my thoughts. Like, I was not there. I wasn't thinking about me, what I wanted. my career, my focus, what made me happy. So clearly I'm not that way anymore. So
No, ma'am, you are nobody's wallflower.
yes. So, that's what I had to learn for myself. Like, it doesn't work if both parties aren't fulfilling whatever their hopes and dreams are. For him, I've seen like huge, just growth, maturity, communication. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. I wasn't really big in like communicating feelings. Like, that's just not my thing.
Yeah.
And so, I had to learn that nobody's a mind reader. He can't know what I'm thinking and feeling and what I need and want unless I tell him, and vice versa. So, our communication is tremendously better. And I believe it's based off of we know each other like better than any other person might know us. And we want to communicate. We're at the second half of our lives at this point. So we want to make sure that we're doing everything that we can
You just aged all of us. The second half of our lives.
Yes.
I like to think of myself early mid-season,
I'm cool with second half, because second half means I get to start over, right? And I get to take all the experience of the first half and make that second half like out of this world. So I'm cool with second half. You're gonna get there. You're gonna get there in a minute.
Well, I looked. I'm right behind you, because you left Hampton the year I came in.
Okay.
Yep. I think we know some of the same people, but we'll talk about that later. So how do you find trust again after infidelity?
You gotta want to. It ain't just gonna knock on the door and run into the house. That's just not how it works. You have to want to trust that person, period. And it's not on him. I mean, of course, he has to be doing things that are trustworthy, but you've got to decide within yourself, I'm gonna trust this person. And if at some point later he does something that is deemed not trustworthy, okay, you deal with it then. But you can't go down the road saying, I don't know if I'm gonna trust you. Because I did that for a very long time. And that's just not productive, and it's not gonna work. You have to make a decision. It's kind of like happiness. You got to make a decision every day to be happy if that's what you want in life. And I had to learn all of that while we weren't together. Like, once I got divorced, I was like, all right, so I got to figure out happiness. I got to figure out peace. And I worked for happiness and peace every day. Like, that's not that doesn't knock on the door either and just come in. Like, you have to work for those things that you want in your life. And I'm not going to let anybody disturb my peace and my happiness. It's just not happening.
That's right. Amen on that. So I think too, would you say, so you had to find your happiness. He obviously had to find his. Do you think that it also helped that y'all both kind of got out there in the world, saw other people, and realized ain't nothing else out there? Not like what I got right here.
No. Okay. That's not how it, no. Yes
Nope.
and no. Yes, it helped that I was out there, doing my thing, not thinking about him in any way. He was out there doing his thing. I don't know what he was thinking about. Don't care. But it wasn't that, oh gosh, there's nothing else out there, so let's just be together because there's nobody else here. No. I realized that those men I don't want. I want I want my family. I want love. I want peace. I want that sense of support and comfort that I know in him and haven't probably found it in somebody else because I wasn't really even willing to give it. So, I think
it's your man. I know what I want. Right there. I want you right there. Get your man, girl. Claim it, name it. So listen, you have a big career. Jamal has a big career. Those two things coming together, a lot of folks will say new power couple, right? For whatever that means, power couple. But his work is in church business. And we know that's real different from the entertainment business. Even though
Yeah.
there's a little bit of entertainment in the church, we're all kind of honest. How do you reconcile those two worlds? Because I'm sure the church folks have something to say about something that happens on every episode. So you've been a first lady before, so you know the job. How are you gonna how's that gonna work? How does it work?
I mean, I feel like, so because I'm on a television show, I'm in the entertainment business, I don't know Jesus. Like, I feel like,
Say it again. Say it again.
I
Call
know
him by his name. That's right.
Yeah, like, Jesus is my foundation with whatever I do. So for me, I don't feel like there should be this separation of church and state. I feel like there should, it should all be one, because there isn't judgment. Mm-hmm. I'm not out here killing nobody. I might cuss somebody out, but y'all cuss people out too. So let's be clear. I don't get that. I mean, I understand it from a Black church perspective, but I just don't get it. I mean, if you know anything about me, you know that I love my kids, I love my family. I'm out here getting my grind on, and that's that. So if you want to judge me and think that I don't know Jesus, then you might want to look in the mirror, because there might be something wrong with you.
Look at how you read America. Go ahead, y'all. She got you told. But now, up until this season, you all had done a very good job at kind of staying above the fray. And now nobody knows what's coming. We all have seen the teaser. But when things happen like that are so outside of you, like, so for example, how do you deal with folks that call you the mean girl?
Oh, okay. Let's deal with all of that. Okay, so let's just deal with all of what people say about me, good, bad, and ugly.
Okay.
I don't care. I really don't. And I believe that it's so funny, because my sister talks about it all the time. She's just like, Gizelle, how do you deal with this? And she reminds me that I've been dealing with this my entire life, from the perspective of, I'm not new to this. People have been hating me just based off of who they think I am, as opposed to who I really am my entire life. Mm-hmm. I'm not new to the limelight. Like you said, I was first lady. I've lived. So the spotlight and all that, it is what it is. And I'm very humbled about my success, and I don't let it go to my head. I'm the same, meaning I'm just here doing my job, and that's that. So if you want to call me a mean girl, that's fine, but it doesn't, none of y'all, it doesn't affect my bank account. So
here we go. Well, that's another. So Gizelle, are you bona fide rich now?
I'm a rich bitch.
You're rich. Look at you. Look at you.
I mean, I've never been like broke. So I mean, I'm good.
What you say? You met me in Potomac.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm happy.
Now, so what are all your businesses? You got the makeup line.
Yeah.
We're getting your baking show. That's a plug. You've got Real Housewives. What else are you doing? What other ventures?
I have my book.
Now, let's pause for a second. So, not autobiographical, Ginger, but is it? I'm just saying. Find it on Amazon if y'all ain't read it yet. Tell me, what's his name? Because you don't call him Jamal. Is it Jeremiah? Jeremy? Something with a J.
Yes. Look, the book was such a fun thing for me to do, because it really, I mean, it is loosely based, right, on my life. And
in a tennis shoe sort of way, but yes, go ahead.
No, it really gave me liberties to just make it so juicy, so fun. And I loved it. So the in the works is part 2, because Ginger has now been doing some big things. So we got to check in with Ginger.
Okay.
And so that is to come. So that has been like super fun for me. Going in, I guess, you have to take the good with the bad. You are given a platform that you are able to do other things with, which is amazing. So you realize, okay, not everybody's going to like me. I am going to be called a mean girl. I'm going to be called nasty, bitter, stupid, like all kinds of negative things. And you have to know going in who and what you are. Otherwise, it'll eat you up. And we've seen that so many times with reality television, stars or whatever. I mean, it's not for everybody. It's tough. I don't recommend it for everybody. People come up to me all the time and they're like, girl, I know I could do that. Okay, no, you can't. I mean, it's tough.
It's a different beast though, too, because do you find that people oftentimes think that they already know you because you're on this, like, do people approach you as if, hey girl?
Yes. Yes. Like
You're supposed to know them back. That's the more interesting part.
And because I've met a million people, I always like do a mental check. Like, did I meet this person? Why is she talking to me? Why is she asking me about my kids? Like, yes, people will just come up and just know you because, and I guess it's a testament to what I've done. I mean, I've really been honest and shown my life. So I guess people really feel like they know my life and can come up to me and just hold a conversation as if we've been girlfriends for 20 years. But I'm gonna say this. I love and adore our fans because nobody thought we would make it to 5 seasons.
I was about to say, because we loyal, honey, because we keep tuning in every week and we follow you on Bravo and on the blogs. Yes.
So I totally appreciate it. And I'm just going to say, because, you're not going to say that, your sister Ashley was with us day one. And she was our EP showrunner, whatever you want to call her. And she was one of the people that really allowed me to feel comfortable enough to be transparent with my life and to really give all to the show. So I appreciate Ashley for that. Thank you.
And I will say this, one of the things she has always said from you from day one is Gizelle is genuine. When she put us on the phone and was like, Gizelle, fix my sister. You got to get her together. She got to get right. She said to me, I think that Gizelle can speak into your life a way that I can't, because she's my little sister. And she says, I think if you all will talk, you'll see that she can help you. Now, girl, I didn't know it was going to lead to all this, but I appreciate you. You need to go into the matchmaking business.
I think so.
You should. So how do your girls feel about you being in the limelight like this?
They're over it a little bit. I mean, when I first started, I asked them how they felt about it, and they were so much younger then, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, TV, it's gonna be great." And Ashley will tell you, sister will tell you, and anybody who's working, any producer or crew or anything, they love my kids because my kids are in it. Like, they want to look at the monitors, they want to, talk to the audio people. They want to know every aspect of it.
Either as they've gotten older, want to be in the business. They want to be in the business.
I don't know, but as they've gotten older, they're like, they're teenagers now. So it's kind of like they get sick of filming sometimes. They don't feel like doing it, but they ride hard for their mother. So they never disappoint.
And they are beautiful girls. And it's been such a joy to watch them grow. And I can see little Gizelle's just coming right up behind you. Before we go, I want to talk to you about something on a more serious note. We are in a great season. I enjoyed a text that you sent out, not a text, a tweet that you put out the other day, because your soror is the new nominee. Yes, she is, for the vice presidency. Gone. So I heard the AKA is planning to stroll to the polls. Tell me about it.
Okay. Don't hate, okay?
I hate.
We are ski-weeing ourselves to the poll. We got our pinkies up. We are doing it. Like, don't let us get into the White House. That White House is going to see so much pink and green, okay?
The inauguration. I think that the Panhellenic Council need to have one whole inauguration party.
No. Just the AKAs, just my sorors.
It's gonna take all 9 of y'all to get her in there. Come on now, we need every vote. Y'all need to get real friendly with everybody else, at least till you win.
I know. Okay, fine. But no, I mean, like I was telling my kids, because my kids are so sick of me, because I'm like, every other day I'm trying to give them, I have a speech for them, like an uplifting Black speech for them. Yeah. And But, you know, I pledged spring 90. And if I would have known then that at one point a Black woman, one of my sorors, would be the potential VP and or president, I wouldn't have believed it, would not have believed it. So to see this is just, gosh, it's just amazing. Really is.
It's amazing. It's beautiful. It is overdue.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw that you are you've been really speaking out about the Black Lives Movement and about what it means to you. Are you going to be politically active in this season? Like, what are you doing to get
yes
polls?
What's so crazy? Of course.
You're organizing the stroll.
Yeah, I am. I just actually, it's so funny because I just got an email from a soror that I pledged, and she's connected to Kamala's what do you call it? Her chief of staff. And we just got finished emailing each other. And I just like donated some money, and I was like, whatever I can do, I'm gonna do. I'm so excited.
Is it you that she quoted where she said, my beliefs are not to be debated?
No,
she quoted one of the housewives, and I thought it was you. Okay.
I'm gonna say it was me. Yeah, that was me.
I'll give her that.
But no, this is just such a crazy time because finally, you know, we standing up and we're giving our voice, and finally people are listening. Wow, hallelujah, praise the Lord, thank you. And we all have 15 million, oh my gosh, racist stories that we could tell. And, you know, we don't need to do that anymore. We really just need to try to move to a different place, a better place. Let's have the conversations. It's a little difficult this year to kind of like rally the troops just because of the pandemic. And it would be so great right now if I could just like get on social media and be like, 1,000 people meet me here, and just, you know, march, or I don't know, march all into the polls. But, you know, we have to be a little bit more strategic this year. I'm encouraging everybody to do their mail-in ballot.
You know what? I tell you, I'm not going to do that because I got my mask and I'm going to go stand in line just like I did for Barack twice, because I'm not this whole postal system problem. I don't care if it's raining, snowing, sleeting. If I got, God forbid, I ain't gonna have nothing myself, but I'm gonna have my mask on. I don't care who else out there is around. I'll have mine on, but I'm gonna go right in there and cast my vote in person.
Well, what I decided today, actually, because I was looking up whether or not I should ask for my ballot to be mailed to me, and then it'll show you. So everybody needs to look up in their area everything about voting, and it'll show you that you can just go and you don't have to wait for November 3rd or 4th or whatever day it is. You can go early. I think the earliest you can go is October 22nd. So I'm going to go early. So they say the earlier the better, and they can start they start counting all of those early ballots. So we can know immediately or before the huge general election that Donald Trump has lost. Okay, so vote early.
I love it. Not that Joe and Kamala won, but that Donald Trump has lost. That's the takeaway. Did you ever imagine that we would be living in a time like this under this sort of a presidency, just one that's just so contentious?
No.
I always said it didn't matter what the policies, we were always going to differ on that. But the rhetoric, did you ever think that we would see, you know, having done work in the political field and seeing, I mean, your father launched a campaign. That's no small feat.
Yeah.
Did you ever think that you would see things like this?
No one thought it was going to be this bad. No one thought this man was this. Sometimes I'm like, you know, we didn't know he was this racist. It's not even about racism anymore. He's not even intelligent. This is not an intelligent person. So that on top of your racist, on top of your sexist, on top of you only care about yourself. That's it. I don't even know if he cares about his kids. Like, it's scary. It is extremely scary. But other side to that is it is allow us to get our act together and to bond together like we never have before.
That's right.
We are all very clear. This presidential election is one like we have never seen because it is the most important.
That's right.
We got to get him out of here. I can't even imagine if he's still there. for another 4 years. We all gonna be dead. Like it's
I
gonna be a
mean,
mess.
that's not a joke. If he makes it another 4 years, we're in trouble.
No,
I mean,
we're today.
The only hope we would have is if we won back the House and the Senate. If just make him a lame duck president. But
Right.
if he has any sort of control on November 5th, we're in trouble.
It's a wrap for us. So this, like I said, way more important than ever before. And it really said to us, like, it woke us up, like, you know, we can't stand on the sideline. Not that I ever did. We can't stand on the sideline and allow other people to take care of our future. No, that's time out for that. We got to make sure we are taking care of our future. And, you know, it's so important. If you're a parent, like, you're looking at kids, like, it's about them. And I'm so proud of the young people that have been marching, and the whole Black Lives Matter movement that they have just totally taken control over. I'm so proud of them. Like, I never thought we would see the younger generation, because we kind of look at the younger generation as, y'all just care about yourselves and whatever is going on in your phone. And for them to, you know, use their phones to put all of these rallies together.
Or to stop people from going to another rally.
Yes, yes, yes.
That was brilliant.
Like amazing to me.
That was brilliant.
Yeah, so I'm not mad at these young people out here at all. Y'all are doing it.
That's right. That's right. Well, Gizelle, you got your man.
Yeah.
You got your money. You got your kids. And you about to have your soror as your vice president. Does life get any better?
No, I just need a vacation.
Oh.
So we got to get the pandemic over so I can go on vacation, and then life is sweet.
Yeah. Now, did you all finish taping your whole season? Everything is done?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And it was pretty much done before the lockdown. So, you know, we were lucky from that perspective.
Okay. Excellent. Well, I'm looking forward to enjoying another season of The Real Housewives. Ashley and I are looking forward to getting our invitations in the mail to the wedding. Okay. She said, make sure I let you know. We don't even need to bring nobody else. We're going to be each other's plus ones. Okay.
Okay.
We from Atlanta. We don't need nowhere to stay. We go right over to our mom and daddy house. It's going to be. We've been to New Birth a million times. We'll sit right down front. We know.
Oh, really? Why did
yeah.
you tell me that?
Oh, yeah. So you know we're from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've been to New Birth. My cousin has been a member of New Birth for 20 years.
Oh, that's nice. Okay. I love that.
I got family. Listen. We got deep roots in the ATL. If you need to know anything, listen, when before the word get on the street, I'm going to call you and tell you what it is.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
There it is. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on to Teach the People tonight. We have learned a lot about you. I have nothing but the highest of hopes for you. Thank you for all that you have done for me personally, but also for sharing with us all that you did and the nuggets that you did about how we can find forgiveness, about how we can mobilize and get to those polls. But more importantly, just to show us all what a positive image of an African-American woman in America is. You do that well every week. I salute you. I appreciate you. And we thank you for coming and teach the people.
Yay. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
All right. Whew. Well, that was a dynamic conversation. Thank you, Gizelle. Thank you all for joining us for another episode of Teach the People. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and come back next week for another episode. And until then, remember, each one, teach one.